But the great consoling factor is that we are not living in a chaotic world. We are living in a well-ordered universe. This is the assurance that we get as we read the fourth line of the fourth mantra, Tasmin napo matarishwa dadhati. There is a force governing the life on this universe. That is, the life force is prana. Matarishwa has been differently interpreted by, the word has been differently interpreted by Sri Shankara Bhagavad-pada and Sri Aurobindo Ghosh. But then both of them come to the conclusion that what the Rishi has meant by this is prana, the dynamic force, the life force that governs every activity in this universe. Sri Aurobindo Ghosh says that Brahman, when itself extends itself to time and space's universe, and the way Brahman represents himself in this universe is through the life force, prana. When Brahman manifests itself in this universe, it first manifests itself as, represents itself as the formative principle of nature, the principle of formative nature, which is the mother of all. And the nature expresses itself primarily as matter, the Prithvi Tattva, the earth principle. The mother, what moves in the mother here, the nature here, is the life force. The life force, that is Brahman, involved in matter, represents itself as the life force. That life force of prana, the dynamic energy, governs everything on this earth. And that life force, when it is involved in matter, establishes the septuple consciousness. Consciousness which can be described as having 7 aspects. Sri Aurobindo Ghosh translated the word Tasmin napo madarishwa dadhati as, in that the life force establishes the waters. Apa in plural would mean water. In singular, it would mean work. It is in the singular sense that Shankara Bhagavad-pada has taken it. Sri Aurobindo Ghosh says, in that the life force established the waters. And waters, going further, it has to be taken as the consciousness in 7 parts, the septuple consciousness. It's also been, we have been reminded that in the Vedic thought, the concept of 7 cows was very, very familiar. It is in that sense that this has been meant here. The life, when the dynamic principle involved with matter establishes the consciousness, septuple consciousness, through this what is meant is, ordinarily we are all governed by 3 principles, lower, gross elements, principles called body, life and mind. Body is the physical being. Here life means the vital energy, the sum total of the vital energy that drives things, each individual thing, and the mind, the emotions that govern all these things, greed, anger, and for all, in living things. These have a divine counterpart. The divine counterpart of the gross physical is Sat. The divine counterpart of the individual limited vital energy is Chit Tapas. And the emotional being, guided by anger, greed, jealousy, this emotional aspect has a higher divine counterpart, that is Ananda. So 3 in the lower rung, 3 in the higher rung. And these are united by Vijnana, that is the 7th element. This is what is meant by septuple consciousness referred to by Sri Aurobindo Ghosh. Waters. This is what is meant by the waters. Life force establishes these waters in that T capital, that is Brahman. Brahman is the basis of the life force, and the life force governs these 7 aspects which are in interplay in the entire universe. Both the Acharyas thus remind us that this universe is well governed by a supreme force, and that supreme force actually works under the umbrella, the all-encompassing Brahman.